5 years. How long is 5 years? Well, it's 1,825 days. Doesn't sound big enough? How about 43,800 hours? 43,800 hours is how much time I've been granted as extra on this planet so far. So, you guys might be thinking, Miles, what do you mean? Well, today guys, I'm going to tell you the story of how I beat cancer. 5 years ago, on a cold winter's morning, I got off of school. You know how it goes. Shower, breakfast, changed, blah de blah. However, this morning was different. Yet again, I felt sick to the bone, extremely lightheaded, weak, and unbelievably nauseated. You know what parents are like. Of course, my mother wouldn't believe me. Unless you were throwing up buckets, you couldn't get your mother's approval. That's how it was for me anyway. Sorry, Mum. So, off I plodded to school. To be honest, it wasn't as bad as I initially thought. I went into school, did a few hours of lessons, everything was bliss. Well, until after break anyway. When I arrived into my third lesson, I felt really, really strange. I basically fainted in front of my food teacher. Thankfully, she ended up sitting me out of the class, which meant I got out of cooking. I wasn't faking it, I promise. Once I had a rest and got a bite to eat, I was all good. I continued on with the rest of my day as normal. I felt fine after that, to be honest. Finished my lessons, got on my bike and headed home. When I eventually arrived at home, I was greeted with a slightly worried looking mother. Turns out Mrs. K, my food teacher, had rang my mum and told her about my recent events. To be honest, I would have mentioned it to my mum eventually, but I guess it did sound more serious coming from a teacher. So, my mum booked me in for a blood test the following morning. Bearing in mind I was 14, I was petrified of needles. We spent that morning waiting at the hospital for my bloods to be taken. You know how boring hospitals are. However, this did mean I got the remaining time off school, winning. Well, once we were all done up there, I headed home. Duvet downstairs, TV on, you guys know the drill when you're ill. All was well until we heard a knock on the door at around 5:30. My mum rushed to the door and answered with a bit of a shock. The person at the door was actually my GP. Miles has a seriously high blood count and needs to come with me up to the hospital right away. Excuse my language, but I was literally shitting myself. Me, hospital, illness, so many words were crossing my mind and literally I didn't know what to think. When I got to the hospital, I felt like a test experiment, things being pointed into my eyes, doctors poking and jabbing me in the sides to find the problem, but then it all just stopped. Everyone left the room, with the doctors into a separate room to the left. What's wrong with me? Am I okay? I had so many questions. After a bit of waiting, my mum turned around to me and said, "They need to keep you in overnight to monitor you." To be honest, I saw nothing of this. I ended up staying overnight in Stafford Hospital. The next morning was the day when my life was going to change. I ended up being transferred to Birmingham's Children's Hospital that morning. That's when the thoughts started generating in my mind. I'll always remember every single moment from then on. Once we arrived into the hospital, the news was broken to me. You have cancer. That memory was so viciously planted in my mind that I think it will be impossible to forget it. After tests, I was diagnosed with chronic myeloid leukemia, CML for short. Chronic myeloid leukemia is a cancer of the blood. Normally this affects older people, but I guess I got lucky. Well, unlucky, I suppose. Bear in mind I was only 14. Even though I was young, I knew cancer wasn't good. I seen the stats. 1 in 4 people are diagnosed with some sort of cancer. The big question was, would I make it? Would I survive? The recovery process started with a bit of chemotherapy. This did give me some bad side effects, sickness being the main one, but I also lost a bit of hair. Thankfully, not enough came out for me to lose it all. I honestly believe I was granted with a miracle. The doctors told me about this newish drug that could practically save my life. This drug was called imatinib. I'll be honest, I had no idea what this was, or how you pronounced it. If I was diagnosed with this condition 10 years ago, chances are I wouldn't be alive right now, which is quite scary to think. The advancement on medication for my disease saved me and many others. Imatinib is to be taken once a day for the rest of my life. the 3,650 seconds it takes me a year to consume my tablet, well, 10 seconds a day, has granted me 5 years extra so far. After a month of treatment, I was well enough to go home. I'd still have a checkup every week, but that was no issue. Doctors were actually shocked at how well I responded to the medication, and my archives were actually put into a case study. After all the doctors had done and the researchers, it's really time to pay back. At the end of the day, research into my cancer type saved my life. Cancer research saved my life. This is where you guys come in. I want to use my story to help others and raise as much money as I possibly can. Because one day, someone may need the support and future medication I was given. To do this, I'm going to be doing a 50-hour live stream where I'll be playing FIFA and maybe some other games for fun. We're playing FIFA and maybe some other games for the full 50 hours, which is quite crazy. I know it's been done before, but, you know. This will all be going down on Twitch, by the way. The aim is to raise £100. I know we can smash that. On Saturday, the 24th of October, I'm going to be doing the 50-hour live stream for cancer research. Now, it's going to be starting from 10 PM till, I think it's going to be 12 PM Monday morning. I don't know if, I think that's 50 hours. So yeah, that's going to be the time it's going to be on. If you guys can't afford to donate or don't want to donate, that's fair enough. But if you could be there and show your support for the stream, then that'll also mean absolutely millions, obviously, because it'll help the stream out. Hopefully you guys make it. I'm looking forward to it, and I'll see you guys Saturday. Peace out.